Microsoft is deleting all your passwords. You may be coming up with some scams. We're going to talk about all the scams, some really big scams that have happened this past week, and the new features in the new Mac OS. These are all topics we're going to talk about today on Tech for Senior Live. I'm Ron Brown, and we certainly are happy that you're here and appreciate the time you're going to spend with us for the next, the next hour. You're probably, we have a full group here. I got a panel of experts. You'll be so impressed with the experts we have today for you. But we have a great group today of experts that are going to go over all the news articles. We have a ton of news articles, lots of stuff in the news this week. We're going to go over all these news articles and have a great time for the next hour. So if you haven't seen our Monday show, we have a Monday show. Huey, what is it? Six years now we've been doing the Monday show, right? Every Monday.
Yep. Over 5 years. We're heading towards 6. We're in our 6th year, actually.
6th year. Yeah. So some people like it, I guess. They keep wanting us to do it. So it's a lot of fun. So if you want to drop by and see us on the Monday, but remember, it's a Zoom meeting, or we broadcast it out to YouTube. So, but if you want to join that, we'd certainly be happy for you to come. Today is, of course, is a little different technology. We're using a product called StreamYard. We stream it out to different services, and of course, but we can't see you. We have no idea who's out there. We don't know if you're there or what's happening. We just talk and assume that everybody listens. Sort of cool, eh? Anyway, but if you put something in the comment, like where you are and what the weather is, or you have any questions, or if you're new here, if you put something like that in, then we can acknowledge you, and we know, hey, we've got somebody listening. That's sort of fun, right? So we can have a chat with you, and it's amazing some of the people that are listening, from different parts of the world. It's always that's the most exciting thing we do on the show. We do lots of find out somebody. Wow, that's sort of cool. So if you do that, that's great. So there we are. Today we have with us four learned people. I guess I'll call myself one of them. I live out in Comox on a little island off the west coast of Canada called Vancouver Island, and and that's where I'm from. And of course, way over in the other side of the world, in a different country, is of course Huey Poplick from Braden in Florida, my partner on our Monday show, longtime friend of mine. and a very learned man, particularly with AI, but all sorts of stuff. What do you have to say today, Huey?
I really like our theme song.
Yeah,
That music is still catchy, and I still enjoy it.
I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess after a long time you get used to it. Sort of it's like our Monday show. It sort of just grows on you, right?
Yep. But
Exactly.
you know what? We were here about a half hour before everybody else, or 45 minutes before everybody else joined us. And we were doing the same thing we do during the show. We were talking about tech. So, we love having everybody here, but even if you weren't there, we probably would still do this.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And of course, the man, the we call him a gadget guy, but that's really unfair because Bill is, I'm going to call him the ambidextrous guy because he talks about Mac, he talks about Windows, and he's always doing specials on our shows on both operating systems. He does lots of different operating systems. So he's a super smart guy. And but he does write gadget articles for our newsletter. So he got termed the gadget guy, but he is a gadget guy, which is for sure. But he's really a smart guy because he's does all the operating systems and writes about them. So welcome, Bill. It's nice to see you here.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad to be here, and that's very kind of you. I just really like dabbling with technology. It's just something that I look forward to every day. That I something new to learn and something to get my hands dirty with. I never was into sports or anything like that, so tech has just kind of become
Your thing.
my thing.
Now, for
And,
all of you
and
who are looking at Bill now, Bill, of course, there's something very unique about Bill today, and you probably won't know it, but I'm going to tell everybody about this. StreamYard made a change, and before it was very difficult to, or you couldn't use StreamYard on a Mac. So but a couple of weeks ago, they made a big upgrade in our broadcasting software, and you can now stream out on a Mac. So Bill is indeed on his Mac using StreamYard. It's really working quite well, right?
Yes, it is. That
Yeah.
was kind of a surprise because when I first started doing Tech for Senior Live, I grabbed the Mac and tried to get logged on, and no go.
Yeah. So that's great. They got it running, and that's good. And then of course from Moncton, New Brunswick, in Canada, but on the other side of the world, or of Canada, we're a long way across there. Of course, we have Mike Lehman from Moncton, New Brunswick. Mike, of course, is our music director for our Monday show, but he's also a techie guy, and I'm going to call him the before tech guy because he sort of built radio stations, installed all the equipment, knows a lot about microphones and technology, and so he's sort of before technology, but he helped it come along. So he invented a lot of the stuff we talk about today. So he is a techie guy of a techie guy, but in music, really knows a lot about music, and we have a lot of fun with his music on Monday. Welcome, Mike. And he has
Good afternoon, folks.
And he has a new microphone too, which is just working out just fine. We won't go into that. That's a long story, but that's a story for another day. All right. Welcome. So listen, Huey, is there anyone listening to us?
yeah, as a matter of fact.
Oh wow, look, there's a whole bunch of people. That's amazing.
Yeah, and Gina was here at 9 o'clock this morning, wondering if we were on at 9 or at 12. So I hope she's still here.
Well, yeah.
She had a long wait if she is.
Yeah. So Gina, has Gina's been on the show before?
Yeah. She's she
so.
asked us some questions not too long ago. We had some emails go back and forth.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
But hopefully she's on. But it don't forget, it's 12 o'clock Eastern time, but 9 o'clock Pacific time.
Jim Tallman, 85 degrees Fahrenheit so far in Venice, Florida. Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, 57 degrees and overcast.
Yeah, missed one.
Ed Weiss, 90 degrees. Ooh, in central New Jersey. Wow, that's getting pretty warm. Gene Lingenfelter, 71 degrees, a rainy day in northwest Pennsylvania. Sally Ann, first day of summer tomorrow, expected to be in the high, expected the high to be 59 degrees in Kirkland, Washington. So just to let you know that it looks like a sunny day out here, and they were forecasting rain, but cool. But man, it looks like it's a gorgeous day. So maybe the weather's changing. We'll send you some nice. I'll send this weather down to you. It's just she's just south of us. So I'll send you the nice weather down, and no smoke or anything. It looks like pretty clear weather. Bernard says Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan, 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Welcome, Bernard.
Let's see here. Next one.
Edie, 90 degrees. Ooh, it's getting hot in Prescott. In Prescott, Arizona, going to be 97. Ray Baxter will be here next week. We'll have to ask Ray how he's coping with the heat. But anyway, yeah, welcome, Edie. Mike Saunders from 84 degrees Fahrenheit in Chesham, UK. A heat wave for the Brits. Yes, we just had your Prime Minister over to Canada. We wined and dined him and the G7 conference. So I think he had a good time. Anyway, welcome, Mike. That sounds, it's getting hot over in Britain, though. Clark, currently 89 degrees Fahrenheit, going to 92. Feels like 99. Oh, it's hot. It's hard to know. Next 7 days in the mid 90s near Trenton, New Jersey. So it's heating up in the central core there. Richard Clarkson from Southern California, 68, going up to 83 degrees later on. Beautiful weather in California always. Lloyd Lindsay, Mississauga, Ontario. Welcome, Lloyd. Richard said, is Bernard DeFazio any relationship to Laverne DeFazio? I don't know.
That was Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley. I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah, it was. Oh, what was it was sad to see the lead pianist in the Beach Boys died. What was his name?
Yeah.
Yes, that was
Brian Wilson.
Gary
Yep.
Wilson. Yeah.
Brian. Yep.
Yep. That might be a hint for a music outro on Monday. I don't know if you've got one planned yet, but that'd be a good one. Hint. All right. Let's get on with so is that it, Huey?
I just got a new one just now.
Bobby Dornhecker, 97 degrees in Phoenix, heading for 116 degrees this afternoon. Yep, going to be hot.
That's hot.
That's hot.
And Bernard says no.
Okay, so let's get on. We're going to get on and we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we've got some tech to talk about.
We do. And we're going to talk about 3 articles before we get into all the news. And the first one is, of course, this was an article came out today. Microsoft starts deleting your passwords in 6 weeks. Act now. That's a bit of a scary byline, isn't it? That's sort of like that's a bit of a strange one. What do you think about that, Bill? Did that make you a little bit nervous?
Well, I really don't. I'm not sure how I'm doing this because it seems like I forget my passwords. I'm not really a good password manager personally. And so if I don't remember the password, I just go in and change it. I'm constantly changing my passwords.
All right.
I'm not too concerned, although I do get the prompts for using passkeys in Google, and I do allow that to occur. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm not sure what Microsoft is doing in terms of deleting passwords because.
Okay, let me explain. Let me explain that. So the article really is about this, and what we're really talking today about is the Microsoft Authenticator app. Now, the Authenticator app is an app that you would have on your phone, and it has to do with 2-factor authentication. Now, that's a 4-digit code that you would send back to your the software that you're using, and that circle has been there, and there's a lot of different authenticators.
Oh, well,
You
what
use one, I use one called Authy. We all use different. But what Microsoft did, and these authenticators did, is they started to be more than just an authenticator. They started to collect passwords, so you didn't have to have two places to go and look. So people would just use them as password managers. And so what happened was, as Microsoft Authenticator got it had dual purpose. One was to store your passwords and also to create this authenticator number. Now, what Microsoft has said, starting June 2025, you won't be able to save any new passwords in the Microsoft Authenticator app. In July 2025, autofill features in Authenticator will stop functioning. And in 2025, August, Microsoft plans to delete all the saved passwords from any app. Any unsaved generated passwords will also be lost that were in Microsoft Authenticator. So now, Microsoft is moving aggressively towards a passwordless future, focusing on passkeys, more secure and phishing-resistant credentials. Traditional passwords remain high vulnerability. Many users refuse to use them, and they are common targets for phishing and attack campaigns. Microsoft notes an uptick in password-based attacks. And finally, what you need to do is you can migrate your saved passwords to Edge. Use the Turn on Edge option in Authenticator. So if you're using the Microsoft Authenticator, you can turn on Edge and use the Turn on Edge feature, and they will be transferred to your passwords will be transferred to the password manager in Microsoft Edge. They'll also encourage you to enable and adopt passkeys, and it's going to drop the SMS-based two-factor authentication. So they want to stop these text. If you had two-factor set up and you were using the SMS system to send a text with the code, then they really want to stop that. So that's sort of where we are with those. Huey is going to you're going to do a whole talk on that on our Monday show, right?
Because I am, but I got nervous when I read that because I don't understand. Didn't understand passkeys, and so I watched a whole bunch of videos and did some research, and I'm putting together something for Monday. But I checked to see if I had Authenticator. I don't even have it on my computer, so it doesn't affect me. And that may be true of a lot of the people out there. It may not affect them at all, but they are going to start using the passkey rather than passwords to get into your Microsoft account. And you're going to start seeing more and more of this happening. But is there something you need to do? Most likely not, unless you are using the Microsoft Authenticator.
Correct. That's
well,
right.
See, I am, and what Ron said about migrating everything to Edge, I don't see that.
It's not there?
I don't see that.
All right.
I would keep for it.
So
You have
that because
well, Authenticator is not on your PC anyways. It's an app on your phone.
That's why it's on my phone. That's what I'm looking at.
Right. And there's no okay. That's something that well, anyway, but Huey's right. If my take on this is if you don't use Microsoft Authenticator, then you don't have to worry about it. Although I would encourage, I think you would as well, Huey, wouldn't you? And everyone here, to encourage you, if you do to use a passkey when you're logging into your Microsoft account, right? I mean, you can set that up aside from what we're talking about today, and passkeys will be. And if you want to learn how to do that,
you're going to be better off with a passkey than your password. And so you're going to probably be required to do that anyway, which will make it easier to log into Microsoft.
Correct.
But I'm looking at these passwords that I have, and I think what I'm going to do is just allow Microsoft to delete them, and I'll just start over.
Okay. Just
And
print them out so you got them. So you don't.
that'll be a way of getting all of that cleaned up.
All right, Mike. Do you have anything you want to say about it? Any comments?
Well, I mean, it's like I say, if you're not using it, it's not a big deal, anyways. And I mean, some applications and some websites originally required that you used either Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator. For example, when I was teaching and using the Cisco accounts, you had to use Authenticator, one or the other. If you're not using those type of things, it's a non-starter. I mean, I think the number of things that I actually use that use Authenticator now are down to maybe one or two items, and they're very rare. Passkeys is definitely the way to go, and that's the way we're moving. So that's what's going to happen.
So Huey is going to tell us all about passkeys on the Monday. So she'll be sure.
Much as I can understand myself.
Be sure. Yeah, it should be a good talk. Be sure and come and watch us on our Monday show. You know what? I was going to talk about some other things, but you know something? You know,
we got our time already.
Jacked away for 20 minutes, and I limit 20 minutes to our little chat. So I think we're going to go on. If we don't have any more comments, I think we're going to go on straight to the news articles.
Let's do it.
Do we have any more comments?
Nope.
Let's get on to the news. Mike, I like your microphone. Sounds good.
Well, a $40,000 microphone, it should sound good.
Yeah. We'll have to tell the story someday, but not today. All right, let's get the news articles up.
First one is you.
Can we go up though? I wanted to just go up and look at that one that there was. Yeah, just click on that and it'll open it up, and you should be able to. Can you? Accept cookies. Yeah, there you go. So this was an interesting one. This was an article that came out, and it was flexible workday was a promise. The infinite workday is the reality. And I thought, if you're working for Microsoft or Google, the complaint is that your phone's with you all the time, and you're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because you're always communicating with your team or staff or whatever. And I thought, well, that's really a bummer. And, so anyway, the flexible work was the promise. The infinite workday is their reality. Aren't you glad we're retired, Huey?
Yes. I don't know how I would do all of this and not be.
Exactly. So this was this was an interesting article that came out this morning. Man with real life girlfriend and child proposes to AI chatbot after programming it to flirt. True story, apparently. So I guess there is you've got to have a disconnect between these chatbots are getting pretty darn good. I mean, mine greets me, good morning, Ron, very nice voice and very nice. I mean, there is a disconnect between what these are and what they really are, right? So interesting story.
And some of the programs that are text to image make beautiful women. So you can make her look like you want too.
One of the things that I always think people forget, there was a Steven Spielberg movie made many years ago called AI, and it was about a boy that was actually created through artificial intelligence, and they became very attached to him. It turns out to be very, in some places, very dark, but it's a very moving story. So if you can watch that movie, you can see where we've come since I think that movie was made in 2002.
Like space.
And if you remember way back, Eliza was her name. And we would chat with her back in the days of the Radio Shack TRS-80s and all of the other early computers.
Yeah. Didn't realize that.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, this
This looks
I
like a
saw this.
little explosion.
Yeah, Ellie, who's a reporter on a lot of things dealing with X and SpaceX and so on. I was watching a video and she showed this, and then she was able to stop and start it, and you could see where in the uh, rocket the rupture started and where it was. It was just amazing, but it was on the ground. It never lifted. It wasn't a lifting test. It was actually something on the ground, and the whole thing exploded. So that they lost not only the rocket and all the pieces and parts of the rocket, but all of the things that hold it and get it ready to go up in the air. So it's going to set them back quite a bit.
I guess Starlink prices will go up, eh?
No, this is going to be after Starlink.
How do they prevent people?
This is going to Mars.
Oh, this is good. Well, it's all the same company.
How do they prevent people from being injured or killed during one of these things? Are they?
Well, they're in other buildings. They're
fairly remote away from the.
Yeah.
They're in their own city. Remember, they renamed the city, and it's called Starbase, or what's the name of the city?
Yeah, but this is in Starbase, so
yeah, I know. So I'm not sure that this is good for the. I don't know if I want to live in that little town because it could be a little bit of pollution in the air.
Is this in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. DuckDuckGo updates web browser with enhanced scam protection. So if you're not using the DuckDuckGo browser, might be one to look at. It will help you prevent some scams, and there's some things they're building into it that make it a really good browser to try to use. And Ron, this is you.
This is it's a good article. 8 AI features coming to iOS 26 that actually excite me. I didn't write the article, but I'm not going to go through the 8 features. You can look at it. I guess the reason I put it in there is that I think you should read the article, because one of the things when we're using our phones, we often don't explore the different features, and these are brand new features that are going to be pretty cool. And so you should try them out and see if you like them, because oftentimes we just use it the same old way over and over and over again. Learn the new features on your phone.
Yeah, and it's a good idea to check to see what the features are with other phones, not just your own, because you might want to switch on your next purchase.
And we often talk about Motorola phones. Some of the Motorola phones will be getting the Android 16 update. That's the new Android 16 is the current version of Android that's being released now to Pixel phones. I have it on my phone, and I'll be talking about the new security feature on our Monday show. That's going to be my talk. So we're going to talk about the new security features, but it will be coming to certain Motorola phones, not all of them, but certain phones will be getting the Android 16 update.
Yeah, and this picture is similar to the Samsung Flip, which I've got an article coming up on it as well. The Android 16, I'm not sure when they're going to release that with Samsung. The Samsung's always late to the party on that. So we'll have to see when it does get to us.
And
Ron, this is you?
Yeah, and in keeping with Huey's talk on Monday, Meta is finally adding passkey support for Facebook and Messenger. It was always bizarre to me that passkeys weren't available. So, and you should understand about passkeys is that the uptake has been slow. It's not something, if the company hasn't initiated this, it's not something you can do on your own. So it needs to be sort of initiated by the services that you're using. And anyway, Meta has finally decided to go ahead with that, and that's
And the big thing too on this is if you weren't sure what a passkey was, now all of a sudden we've got 2 important news articles. That means things are changing, and
Yep.
passkey is going to be part of our world. You might want to pay attention to it.
So this is interesting. I think there's another article coming up, but YouTube Shorts. Huey, do you know there's 200 billion with a B billion views of YouTube Shorts in a day? That's a lot of views.
That's what keeps me from getting a lot of work done.
No, but
watching that many
200 billion. Now the thing about Shorts is that they have increased. You can do. I think a short now is 3 minutes, and what VO3 is VO3 is I guess Google's not an image but a video generator, I guess we call it text to video generator, and so you now can generate, I guess, a whole short for 3 minutes on basically you text to video, you tell it what you want, it creates the video for you, and you could just upload it and keep the 200 billion short things going. So anyway, VO3 is the new video creation from Google. Here it is.
Yeah.
200 billion a day. Gee whiz, Huey, that's a lot. This is oh, did we go down? Just go back up. Did we miss one? Did we miss the pie one?
Nope.
Okay. Millions of Windows users get Microsoft free upgrade. Now I don't know why I can't see that one. Darn it all. Anyway, the article is an interesting one in that we have now reached, if I can remember this rightly, we've now reached about, in the United States, about a little over half the people that use Windows 10 have migrated to Windows 11. And as you know, we're getting close to the October 15th deadline where you have to have made the migration. But there's still a large group, just about over half of all Windows users, gosh darn it, haven't made that switch yet, right? It's getting closer. It's getting closer and closer. And there's a lot of folks that just haven't made that switch. So,
I find it a little misleading though, because it says it's a free upgrade offer, but if you read it, they're only talking about the migration tool that they're offering for people to use with eligible PCs. It's not. It seems to say that they're offering something other than that migration tool. And at least that's how my mind is.
Right. But Bill, is it not true that if you have a licensed version of Windows 10, that you would get an automatic upgrade to Windows 11?
That's a true statement, but I did a presentation on that recently, and the Windows 11 upgrades, like the current one is 24H2, all PCs can upgrade to that version. Some of the previous versions is like some people might be stuck at 22H2 because they can't move to the next version, but the lifespan of that has already gone bye-bye.
Oh,
my what I'm concerned about, and I don't know how to test this, but I'm thinking that if you try to upgrade to Windows 11 and the tier that you could upgrade is no longer available, and you can't upgrade to 24H2, which is the latest one, you can't upgrade to Windows 11.
All right. But now you would be able to know that, would you not, prior to installing it? Don't they do an assessment of your
assessment? They do. There is an assessment that you can run, but some people were getting, notifications that their PC was eligible to be upgraded. But
Right.
that's when, before they made the subsequent upgrade to Windows 11. So at that time, when Windows 11 was at 22H2, you were eligible. But now
Ah.
that you're at 24H, that Windows 11 is at 24H2, you may not be eligible.
Oh, I see. That's a real problem. Like, what happens as we move down into future versions? Are they just, you could just become uneligible? Is that sort of what's happening?
That's kind of my feeling, and it's based on hardware.
Hmm.
There was I can't remember now what there's one critical module that 24H2 is requiring all PCs to meet. It has something to do with oh gosh,
Is it a TPC chip or TP? What?
no, the TPM chip has always
TPM.
has
TPM.
always been an issue, but there's another one that has cropped up that has to do with a calculation. Well, I can't remember now what it's called, but
Okay.
that's a critical part now that some PCs will not meet.
Okay. Well, interesting. This was an interesting one. This is the Adobe Project Indigo is a new photo app from former Pixel camera engineers. This is for iPhones. It's not out yet for Android phones, but for iPhones. So if you wish to download and use this app on your iPhone, it's sort of, once you open the app, it's a camera app. It runs the camera and takes the pictures on your iPhone. You can either use the resident one that you have on your iPhone, or you can use this. You can just choose this one. And what this does is this was designed by former Pixel, the Google engineers who left the company, and they've created this app. And the app is gives a whole different dynamic of colors and different things that you can adjust, and it's pretty cool. So if you are a photo buff using your camera, you might want to try this. It's free, and it doesn't interfere with anything. You just choose this one, and then the pictures are made with this app. So it's sort of cool, and it's made by Adobe, and it's called Project Indigo. This is of course we're looking at the Pixel 10 being released in August, so they've got to come up with some. It's going to be interesting. It'd be very interesting here. You see what's going to happen with the Pixel 10, because of course they just released the Pixel 9. So how are they going to make things so much different, or what is going to be the catch to buy new phones? And they've changed the chip now, so they're not using the Samsung chip anymore. They're using TSMC, which is a Taiwanese chip. So they're using a different chip now in the Pixel 10, and we'll see about all the great things that's going to do to try and get you to buy a Pixel 10 phone.
And make it more confusing for all of us to try to figure out which phone to get.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of reasons why, but it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. So coming up. And this one was an interesting one. This is, have you heard of the Nothing phone?
Been around for quite a while, but I don't think it's been available here in the States.
And that's the big change. That's the news story. So the Nothing Phone 3 is getting official release for US customers. The handset will be available to purchase from Amazon or directly from the company, according to TechCrunch. Canadians will be able to get it in retail action, as Nothing has an ideal link to Best Buy, so you'll be able to get it with Best Buy. So I guess why I brought this up, it's not, it will, but the catch will be, is it will not be available as any co-sponsored sales with any of the carriers. So T-Mobile or Verizon won't be offering any bundle deals with this. So you'll be able to buy. But for those of you who really want a little bit different option for their phones, I mean, there's, like Huey said, this has been around for a while. Good value, lots of new technology, different technology. Have a look at this. Maybe it's something you might be interested if you want something a little different.
It always has been rated fairly well.
Yeah.
Just wasn't available here in the U.S.
That's right. So that's the story, is it is available in Canada and the U.S.
Bill?
Yes. They're expanding their the self-driving cars. I think people may or may not be aware that in San Francisco they have a whole network of these self-driving cars, but they're expanding them to other areas. Now, these are not the Tesla versions. This is another company that has been working in the self-driving arena. Of course, Tesla is also developing a self-driving model that will be used in a similar fashion. But it seems like self-driving cars are becoming, self-driving services like this is becoming available. So what you do, you just call up, just like you would your Lyft or your Uber, and this car would arrive, but it has no driver. You just get in, and it takes you to wherever you need to go.
And you can bring your avatar girlfriend
along with you. Very, very true.
Well, Huey did his first Uber ride last week. He reported on that on the show, and he thought that was pretty cool. But now, Huey, when you go to get in the car, there's nobody in there. How do you feel about that one?
This area isn't big enough. I don't think we're going to see them for a while. But I would like. That would be the only way I think I would try one of those cars. It would be a short jaunt, like a taxi.
All right.
Well, one of the things that's interesting too is that my new vehicle has this self-driving thing called Super Cruise.
Yeah.
And it has GM has mapped out roads where you can actually drive without hands-free. And the amazing thing is that the car will also change lanes without the cameras on the car will, based on the distance that you have set between your car and the car in front of you, if you're approaching that car too quickly, then it will start looking for a way to pass the car in front of you, and it will actually execute that.
Yeah, my RAV4 has adaptive cruise control, and it does the same thing. So if it's coming up behind a car, it will put the left signal on, and then it'll turn and it goes around it. It's sort of cool.
Yep.
I didn't read the whole article because I really wasn't that interested, but it does pop up in this conversation of in Facebook where a policeman pulled a car over for speeding, and it was a driverless car.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, how would it know if a policeman puts a siren on, is following there must be something programmed in with the cameras behind that it pulls over. I mean, how would it maybe it's not, it could never stop, maybe it would, because there's nobody in it.
And who knows if it was real or not.
I don't know.
Okay, this was me. 10 best free streaming services for movies, shows, and live TV. Now, I've done some presentations to groups around the country on this very subject and talk about a whole bunch of streaming services, free ones. And I think there was one or two in this article that I did not talk about in that presentation. So that's why I brought it up and posted this, that there might be some free streaming services that you might want to take a look at. It doesn't cost you anything, and you might see some TV shows, old ones, new ones, movies that you might not otherwise get a chance to look at. And 9 AI tools that will separate winners from losers in 2025. Again, some programs, some AI app tools that I'm familiar with, and a few that I was not. And so I'm going to have to take a look at the different ones that they talk about in this articles to check them out.
But
That's the problem.
but
Go ahead.
I was going to say Chat GPT, I think, is probably would not be the most successful one, that it's really uh, taking hold.
Yeah, but I'm seeing a lot of articles where the latest version of Gemini is outdoing Chat GPT in speed and even in the quality of some of the answers it gets and some of the images it's building.
I know other day I was asked to create a logo for an individual, and of course, Chat GPT has a horrible spelling history, and I work with it. I know probably 5 or 6 attempts, and I finally got it to spell something correctly, and then subsequently I had to make a change, and surprisingly, it spelled the change correctly. So I was kind of impressed with that.
And one thing I noticed too, that sometimes when the letters just aren't right, or they left off a letter or something, and you want to go in and edit it, you can ask it what font it uses, and then create something. I use Photoshop Elements. Use text, use the font that they suggested, and it matches up pretty good. So I can do some editing on that when it really screws up.
Okay, so you're just superimposing what
Yeah.
yeah, what I kept doing was just refining my prompts, and I would actually says change what it spelled to this, and it seemed to be able to catch on to that and actually go in and make the correction.
Yeah, sometimes I told it Chat GPT to center it a little bit more because the letters fell off on the left-hand side. And as soon as I did that, it spelled it wrong, or it did something else to change it. It did move it over, but then it overlapped something else. And it was a real pain. And you had to do it. I had to do it several times before I got it right.
Yep. Yep.
So Huey, can you comments? Any new comments? Because we're in our last 15 minutes here.
Okay, let's back up here a second. Let's see what we got. Let's see where we left off. I'm not sure what this means, but Dave Somolinsky.
On the other hand, Megan, I don't know.
I have no idea what that means.
Mike's listing. Oh, great. I can't get passkeys from any of my financial institutions. Yeah, well, that's true. Like on my bank doesn't offer passkeys. So, I mean, it is true. In fact, I asked them, I went to a course from my bank. I was invited to, and they had all the top secret security guys there. And I asked them, I said, how come you guys don't use passkeys? And he said, we've been using software for years that's far better than anything you want. Like, you don't even know what we're doing. And you know, it's all loaded in there, and we just know what's happening. So don't worry, you're safe. So there's probably some other form of security your bank's using. Richard Clarkson, my laptop says I'm able to upgrade to Windows 11 24H2. There is a button to push on the upgrade. Yes, indeed. That's the button. You got to decide when you're going to push it.
Right.
And back up first.
Mm-hmm. Murray Strom from Victoria. Hello, Murray. Sunny Victoria. Another beautiful day. It is on the island. It's a beautiful day. Richard said Sling charges for different things. Lowest is $20 fee to see a college basketball game. I didn't do that.
Yeah, Sling also has a free level too, according to the article. Okay, let's continue on. Here's where I said the Samsung Z Flip 7. It's going to have a lot of new features, and one of them is on the half when it's closed, you can see the screen. It fills that whole screen up now, and so it looks pretty inviting. And then you can open it up. It flips open to be a full-size phone. And this one is Google's AI-powered search live feature is here to further cannibalize the internet. I was reading several different articles about the Google is for the first time lost a whole bunch of search results. They're not being used. It's not being used like it was. And here's something where they're actually using something called Search Live that's even going to eat into more of their own Google search. So Googling it is not going to be, it's going to be to AI it, I guess. And Ron, this is you.
No, I don't want to discuss that one. I want to go to the next
Okay.
article. We're going to move on. Yeah, is this mine? Yeah. Musk's AI burns through one. So his X. So this is his AI on X, is burning through $1 billion a month in costs. So, no profit yet, but that's a lot of money. $1 billion a month.
I think the XAI, it's either free or very inexpensive. So they're trying to get it built up so they're not charging full price on it, I think.
Yeah.
But it is, again, another one to try.
But you have to be a member of X to use it.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, that we talked about that before. Yeah. Oh, so this is an interesting story. My buddy Mark Zuckerberg. He is having problems because he can't get people to work for him. So he decided to come up with a super group of AI experts at Facebook, and it's called a super group and of AI. And Mark's going to be on the committee, right, of this select group of engineers, right? Only problem is no one will work with him. He can't find anybody to get the job. So the story is that he's giving Huey, you got to understand this, $100 million signing bonus.
Sign for just $1 million.
I think you and I should
99 million.
You want to apply? I mean, I don't mind working with Mark for a short time if we get
$100 million.
I've worked with worse.
$100 million signing bonus. You got to be crazy. Anyway,
if that's the signing bonus, imagine what the salary is.
Yeah, right. But you got to work with Mark, I guess.
Well, here's big news.
I know. Do you guys know what's coming up in July?
Prime Day.
Exactly.
Yes. In U.S. and Canada.
It is. And you know, guys, why is Prime Day going to be such a big deal this year? And the reason is because it's Black Friday is going to be after the October 15th when the big Microsoft switchover occurs. So this is probably when they're going to have all their hardware, like all the laptops, all the different Windows compatible machines on sale. This is your last sale of the year before, because when we go to Black Friday, it'll be after that turnover has occurred. So this is a big sale. There's going to be lots of good stuff on this. So anyway,
and there's also going to be a lot that can't run that aren't the
right.
that aren't the Copilot Plus computers that you got to be careful to make sure that it's going to be strong enough to be what you want it to be.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Galaxy Watch 4 is now the reason I brought this up because that was the first watch I bought.
That's the one I use.
Yeah, the videos, but it's running out, and this is it's at the end of the run. So the updates, and it's not going to be a long. You can read the article. I'm not sure when the final day of this thing is, but
they're about to bring out the Galaxy Watch 8.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the 100 million. Sam Altman says Meta
Yeah.
tried to, and failed. They wouldn't even go for it to $100 million offer. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Oh, now listen, Huey. We talked about Ray-Ban,
Yeah.
AI glasses. Those look pretty sexy, eh? These are they're looking at so Facebook is Meta is now teeing up with Oakley. Now we talked about the Ray-Ban glasses before, but those are the Oakley glasses that with AI. Bill, you got to get a pair of those. You would look so cool in those.
Oh well, we'll see. I'm resisting like you did.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was the problem is they were just going to be for gardening, and I thought, why pay all that money?
I wonder how much those are.
I don't know what the price. Probably be about the same price. Um,
We talked
so
about this.
Here's
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
What I want to mention too is that the required module that's our instruction set that 24H2 requires is what they call the population count. It's POPCNT. It's an instruction set that is in the Intel processor that has to be present in order to upgrade to 24H H2.
All right. Mike Lehman, do you have AI glasses on?
No, I just thought I'd look cool.
Oh. I thought, I know you're a techie guy, but I thought, did he really get? Oh man, you're on the cutting edge there. Well, anyway, they look sort of cool. So cool. So fast grab a Pixel 8 Pro for I paid $1,100 for mine. You can get one for $335.
Yeah, these are renewed or
it's renewed,
refurbished. Yeah,
refurbished, but the prices of these, it's pretty darn good phone. And as they move to Pixel, of course, they got 9 and 9A and soon to be 10, prices are coming down. So you can get some pretty nice deals. So this is a whole interesting topic that we'll probably discuss this year. Samsung has a master plan about their health app, and they're going to get into this in a big way to define, particularly for seniors, to help with aging. And this is all going to be fed through their health app, which we talked about last week. But there's a little catch. You know what the catch is, Huey?
No,
it's not free.
I can age without it.
It's not free. But anyway, this is a big part of their plan over the next 3 to 5 years, and it's going to all be centered around aging and how the app can help with that. So lots more coming about this. We talked a little bit about this in the past, in that, what is the purpose of smartwatches, and how is this really going to benefit us? And we talked about some of those issues, but this is sort of their vision of their peripheral, which is their watch, and how it's going to evolve in the future. So that's interesting article. You can have a look at that. We talked about that. Yes. So I'm going to try this. Now, I'm not going to go into this. And we did the whole show, a big part of our Monday show. This is the new feature in which your Pixel, the new version of Android 16, will allow your phone to plug directly into a monitor, making it a PC, allowing your phone to be able to be seen on a large monitor and formatted correctly. Drew gave an example of this with his Samsung phone and using DeX. But all you have to do is plug a wireless keyboard and mouse in as well, and connect that up, and then you have a an electronic device. We'll call it a computer, not a PC, but it's your phone, and you're connected to a large screen, and you have a mouse and keyboard associated with it. I think it's the way to go. I think it's crazy good. New feature just came out on Android 16. I think we talked about this last week. Have you ever heard of instant apps, Huey?
Sure, I don't think so.
Nobody else has either. so Google is shutting it down. We won't go into that. Where's Apple CarPlay is getting a major upgrade. This is a big upgrade, which is coming with iOS 26. I'm not going to go into that. If you're interested, you can look at the article because we're running out of time. But that's a big upgrade. So here we go. Amazon offers HP touchscreen laptop, 64 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD for 56% off as it unveils 2025 Prime Day plans. So the sale has already started. If you have Prime. So just to remember, Huey, so if you don't have Prime, you can sign up for a month. You can get it. You can buy it by the month, and I think sometimes you even get it for free for the first month. So if you are interested in Prime Days, you don't have to buy the whole Prime package. You can do it for a month. So you might want to think about that.
Those will already have Windows 11 installed, so they're
okay.
But the thing about it is that Windows 11 doesn't really require that Copilot module, so that's not too much of a huge concern. But having Windows 11 installed on the machine would be a big deal.
For
and
sure.
You might want to check and see, which version of Windows it is. If it's 24H2, which would be the latest version.
One of the things that I think, and Mike Lehman probably agrees with me on this, is we don't laugh enough, right? And if you remember back to probably 15, 20 years ago, Apple and Microsoft Apple and Google had their commercials, and they were picking fun at each other. Do you remember those commercials, Mike?
Yep.
And they were so funny. Remember? They went back and forth.
The two comedians. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. I really look forward to those commercials. Anyway, Google teases Pixel 10 in the latest best phones forever, pokes fun at iOS 26. So this is a commercial that they're starting to jostle back and forth. I hope we come back to having some funny commercials, because I really want to laugh these days, and I think this would be a good one. Hey, it's time to go.
Oh gosh,
I didn't get this one.
We didn't get to everything.
I know. Anyway, let's just remove you here. It's top of the hour. Now, just for everybody, if you're still there, just hold on before you run off. We will be here for next week. And so we'll be here next week. But July, we're taking a holiday, right? We're going on a holiday trip. And so we're going to be
on
away.
Thursdays.
Just Thursdays. The Monday show will be going on, as we have discussed, but the Thursday show will be away. So you come next week, and we'll be here. But the following, after that, we'll be away for July, starting. I think it's August the 7th. I think is the next. Let's see, when is it? August the 7th is when we'll be back online with all the news of July. So we're probably going to have to talk real fast, right? So anyway,
or half fast.
Yeah. So I want to thanks everyone for coming and listening. I want to thank Huey for being here. Thank you again. Great. It's always fun. Bill James, I wish you would come more often. I really enjoy you being here.
I enjoy being here. I hope that I can do that some more in the future. But unfortunately, my own club meets at this time. But today, on this Thursday, there's another guy that really moderates the the meeting, so I can always kind of break free. But
And Mike Lehman, man, you sound good. I really like that microphone. That's a great microphone. Yeah, we'll tell everybody the story about that another day. But anyway, thanks a lot. We look forward to your music outro on Monday. And if you haven't come along and watched our Monday show, I would certainly encourage you to do so. Until we see you next week, bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.